Hey everybody, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and this is
Luke Smith, and we're here to continue our playthrough of Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition.
We sure are. Before we get started though, Luke, I was asked in the comments by someone, they wanted to know how much of the narrative descriptions that we're doing, how much of that comes from the application, and how much is us making up the story?
Well, in my opinion,
yes.
I think most of it is the application,
yes.
but we add in little quips.
Yeah, little
things.
Sometimes when I'm reading that, I'll add a little flourish in there. Specifically, when we're interacting with the tokens, that's definitely all coming from the application. Now, when we start talking about why is Min walking down this hallway, what's drawing her down there, or when the characters are talking to each other, that's certainly us having a little bit of fun along the way, hopefully for your benefit. Now, for this playthrough, we did get a suggestion for what we should do from Crystal Blue Mage. It got the most votes, but there was a slight error in the suggestion. Thankfully, it was very close to what Steve Main also wanted to do. He also had a lot of votes. So I'm merging those together. And Steve provided a lot of narrative direction as well. We're going to use some of that to guide us as we walk through this. So join us at the table and let's get started. With a quick tug, William jerks the knife from where it's stuck into the table, examining it quickly as he moves across the dining room.
Hey, pal,
he says to the butler,
you hang out here, and I promise we'll come back for you when we get this mess sorted out.
William then moves into the empty hallway, stunned to find it empty.
Where did they all go?
So obviously our actions here were to first pick up the knife and then move into the entry hall. Meanwhile, in the billiards room, Harvey looks at the large chest behind the bar. I've already found a bit of evidence of cult activity, but I suppose it could also be the misplaced trinkets of a bored socialite. I'd best look for more. Harvey moves to open the chest, but finds it secured with a heavy padlock. The device is sturdy, but he believes he might be able to pick the lock. The application now tells us that we're going to be attempting to solve a puzzle using observation. Harvey's pretty well equipped there. He has an observation of 4, so I'll tap continue, and we'll be presented with the puzzle that we need to solve. With an observation of 4, this means I can perform 4 moves within the application, and 1 extra for each clue token I'm willing to spend. If you want to pause the video yourself and try to guess out how you would do it before I start, feel free. The Frequently Asked Questions document that was released for this game answers the question of, can players around the table work together on the puzzles? And the rules definitely say that you can. I'm not saying that to suggest that Luke helped me solve this puzzle. I'm sure I was very capable of solving it on my own.
Oh, really?
I'm going to edit that out later, Luke. So there's our first move, second move, third move, fourth move, and technically, if I didn't want to use these tokens, I'd have to stop here. But I could use Harvey's second action to work on this puzzle further. But he's a determined and impatient fellow. So we will spend 1 of the tokens, gaining another move, and 1 more to unlock the padlock. Yes, we've succeeded, Luke. And the puzzle is completed. Harvey hears an audible click, and the padlock pops open. Inside the chest, he finds a grotesque statuette of an octopoid dragon, and something else that might be of use. We're told we gain the bandages common item and the grotesque stone unique item and 1 clue. The grotesque stone that we've collected here is just listed as evidence. It doesn't have a specific action associated with it, so perhaps we'll be able to use this later in the scenario. The bandages, however, can be discarded as an action, and then the controlling player can remove up to 2 face-down damages that they have received. Scanning the room, Harvey decides there's nothing left for him there and heads out into the hallway. As the door opens, he sees William react, raising his new knife to defend himself. Calm yourself, man. It's just me.
Sorry, Harvey.
William lowers the knife.
This place has me a little spooked.
Understandable. This place, it isn't right. Min wasn't in there, though. Let's try further in. Harvey beckons for William to follow him as he moves further up the hall. Meanwhile, Min looks all around, not sure how she got where she is now. Did I come from that way? Or was it... Her spine chills at the sudden disorientation she feels, wanting to rejoin her companions. She knows she should, it's just that there's something about the door at the end of this hallway. Something warm and inviting. She reaches for the doorknob and grabs hold. The door is weathered, and she hears bizarre noises from the other side. When she tries the handle, she finds the door is locked. Looking closer, she spots a brass keyhole. I must find a way to get in here, she whispers to herself. So in this case, we were going to try an explore action to open this door, but the application isn't giving us that option. We must have to do something else first. Sweat forms on Min's brow as she rattles the handle. I must get in. Frantically, she looks around. Maybe this door. Maybe this one will lead me there as well. The panic subsides when she realizes this doorknob is turning. The light from the entry shines into the dimly lit office as Min opens the door. A lamp sits on a large wooden desk, casting long shadows across a mess of papers and books scattered around the room. Perhaps there's something noteworthy on the papers scattered across the desk. Against another wall, there's a bookcase stacked with books and other items. Among them, one book in particular catches Min's eye. We're told a King James Bible is found within that bookcase. This can be picked up using the trade action, and this item itself has its own action. It can be used to target the player holding it or another investigator within range, and they can then discard one face-down horror. Min now has the option to freely enter the room. Maybe there's a key for this door somewhere in this room. With an air of desperation, Min enters the study. So far, Min has used one action to explore, and then she was able to freely move into the room, so she still has one action left. Luke, we have a decision here. Should Min pick up the Bible, or move over to the desk and do a search action?
Well, I just think she should go over to the desk because, well, she pretty much has a card that does exactly the same thing as the Bible.
That's actually a good point, Luke. Her instill bravery can also help get rid of horror. All right, let's do that. A key. I must find a key for that door. In a hurry, Min rushes over to the desk. And that ends the investigator phase. As the mythos phase begins, we're told a loose, fluttering page covered in barely legible text catches Min's eye. Unable to resist, she reads. Now, I should probably just mention here, the app doesn't actually know physically where Min is in the house. So it's actually pretty cool how the narrative is weaving together here because she just rushed over to a desk with papers, and now we're being told that there's a paper that's caught her attention and she's going to read it. Unfortunately, we're also told that she's going to suffer 2 face-down horror, but a lore test could negate some or all of it. After rolling the test, she'll then flip 1 horror face up if she has any. Luke, I think I rolled last time, so it's your turn.
Well, she's only got 3 lore, but I'll see what I can do.
Here we go. And Luke can do plenty. That's perfect. 2 successes means we've negated both of the horror that we would have received, and although it now instructs us to flip a horror,
she doesn't even have any.
Exactly, so we can ignore that portion as well. I'm actually a little concerned that Min was so comfortable with whatever text she read. I'm worried the mansion might be getting under her skin. But that's something we can worry about later. Luke, great roll. We're then told that a robed figure appears from a secret door and begins searching around. Upon seeing signs of other people, the figure yells, "There's someone here!" You then hear a muffled response from another part of the estate. "You must get rid of them!" Unfortunately, this cultist is not content to stay put. We're told that it moves 2 spaces towards the nearest investigator and then attacks the investigator in its space with the lowest influence.
Well, William's the only one in his space.
You're right, it looks like he's the target of this attack. The cultist approaches with confidence, wearing a demented smirk. He grabs William with both hands and attempts to overpower him. William is now going to have to test his strength. Thankfully, William has a strength of 4, so I'm rolling 4 dice. The application tells me we only needed 2 successes, and that's what I rolled. William redirects the attacker's momentum, and the cultist suffers 1 damage.
Take that, you stinky old cultist.
Yeah, no kidding. I can hear Harvey right now cheering from down the hallway. "That's the way, William." Harvey calls down the hallway in approval. Well, now we're told that each investigator must resolve a horror check against the monster within range with the highest horror rating. So this is going to affect both Harvey and William. And although Min's within 3 spaces, she's behind a door, so it won't affect her. The cultist snickers, and you realize you've stepped within a glyph etched into the ground. It glows red as you study the symbols. So we're told we'll suffer 1 face-down damage and 1 face-down horror, but a lore check plus 1 will negate. So this means William with a lore of 3 will actually get to roll 4 dice.
I got it.
Okay. Well, Luke, if it doesn't go in the dice tray, it doesn't count.
Thankfully, I succeeded anyways.
Yeah, we don't even need this die. 2 successes means that no effects will be suffered, well, by William anyway. Now we have to roll for Harvey. But Harvey's lore is even better. He has 4, so plus 1 means I'm rolling 5 dice. Here we go. Once again, another success. We can totally ignore the effects of this cultist. And with that, the mythos phase ends. And there you have it. We're at the end of another round. And Luke, everyone, we're doing pretty good.
We have lots of items.
We have loads of items. We've got more stuff than we have pockets to put them in at this point. And maybe that's what's giving them so much confidence. They're finding all these items, weapons, spells. But you know, I am worried a little bit about Min.
Min.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know. Something about this house seems to be affecting her mind. And don't forget William, in the last episode, he read some kind of arcane text.
Yeah.
It gave him powers, but who knows what else that's going to do. And he is suffering one horror. But I'm not going to let that get me down. Hey, I'm going to turn it over to you guys because you've really been helping us make great decisions, I think. So let us know once again in the comments, what do you think we should do? If someone likes what you've said, they'll give you a thumbs up. And if you don't like what someone has suggested, propose your own. Maybe that will get votes. Whichever one gets the most, that's what we'll come back and do. But until the next episode,
Thanks for watching.